Stay tuned if you'd like to see the steps we took to take this door from looking like this to this, all without having to repaint or do body work at the customer's location. We're going to start off with some glue pulling using some Solar Blitz glue and some Cam Auto I-bar tabs. Prepping the panel and getting it ready to accept the glue and the tab is a critical step. And you can see that we've got the panel temperature up to about 200 plus degrees according to the manufacturer's recommendation of this glue. That enables the glue to work at its full potential, just ensuring a solid bond. And bond is the key. And you want to make sure that all the edges are actually filled in with glue. And like I said, just ensuring that we have a solid bond, because we're going to be applying a lot of tension to the side of this. Just essentially, the idea here is to cause the tension to allow the metal to travel as we manipulate it. It has to have a place to go. You can see that we are just about ready to pull, roughly around the 80 to 90 degree mark on this one. And applying the tension now, getting ready to knock some of the crowns out of the panel or pressure out of the panel. You can see right there, we're knocking some stuff down, and we have to work from all different types of angles to be able to see what we're doing. This is the release of the glue here. Simply comes off with some alcohol, and I'll show you what it looks like. Just comes off in one piece. And here's another method that we're using here. This is essentially just using some different glue pulling devices. This is a mini lifter. The one you saw before that was a leverage bar. And we're doing as much glue pulling as we can to basically minimize the amount of pushing from the backside. And to push from the backside, we've got all these different factory access holes we're going to be using. And we're not drilling any holes in your car. We're going to use the factory holes, and you could see, or if you listen, you can hear this panel popping as we push on it. That's actually a sign of the panel being overstretched. And this is an overstretched dent right here. We're going to need some special sharp tools to kind of shrink the metal down and then manipulate it even further with a stabilizing machine, and you'll see that here shortly. This is a high strength steel on this panel. The Lexus likes to use that on their doors a lot. Very difficult, very rigid, hard to manipulate. We typically are going to get the damage to a certain state before we use sharp tip tools like that. But it's all in an effort to kind of minimize and shrink down the damage before we go in with a machine like this. That's the power PDR box, which is going to just add stability to the panel in conjunction with these sharp tips to basically bring this panel back into its natural tension state. And this is some hammer blending, which is essentially just taking all of the hidden pressure and kind of distributing it back into the panel to give it more stability. And finally, recoating the backside of this panel with some primer for some corrosion protection. All right, and we've got everything put back together, door panels put back on, the trims reinstalled along with the weather stripping, and this car is as good as it was back before it was damaged. And the results are just undeniable, especially when Paintless Dent repair is performed at a high level. Keeping the original paint on this was huge. It's just a huge save. You don't have to worry about bringing it to a body shop to where they're going to blend and paint adjacent panels on the car. You don't have to worry about changing the paint on it. It's definitely a higher quality repair if you can have it done this way. Not all repairs are good candidates, but this particular one definitely was a good candidate for the paintless process and saved this customer a huge amount of time. As far as the money aspect goes, we were somewhat comparable to what the traditional paint and body shop wanted in terms of cost to repair this. But let's face it, much better quality repair if you can have it done this way and done at the customer's location. My name is Bryce Kelly with Central Florida Dent Repair. I do thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you learned a little something new and became educated about the valuable paintless dent repair process.